It was just one sentence, 12 words. But those 12 words may echo through the walls of Buckingham Palace for years to come. We are in this together. Keep in close touch and speak soon. That's what Prince Andrew reportedly wrote in an email to Jeffrey Epstein in 2011, just one day after the world saw the now infamous photo, the Duke of York standing beside Epstein in New York, with Virginia Giuffre in the frame nearby. A single image that launched years of scrutiny. A moment that, in hindsight, seemed destined to fracture the legacy of a prince. But now, with the public release of this email, a question hangs heavier than ever over the monarchy. What did Prince Andrew really know, and when? This is Crownverse, where royal stories aren't just retold, they're re-examined. Where silence is a symbol, and every uncovered detail is a door into the past. If you want to follow the royal narratives that others won't touch, subscribe now, because the future of the monarchy depends on how it answers the secrets of its past. The year was 2011. Prince Andrew had already ended his role as the UK's trade envoy amid growing criticism of his association with Jeffrey Epstein. The American financier, by then, was a convicted sex offender. His connections were toxic, his social circle shrinking. But Andrew remained in contact. The leaked email, allegedly sent in January of that year, has only recently come to light following renewed investigations into Epstein's global network and the fallout that continues to emerge from sealed documents and forgotten servers. The timing of the message is not just interesting, it's damning. Just 24 hours earlier, British tabloids had splashed the now famous photograph across their front pages. It showed Andrew walking in Central Park with Epstein. In the public imagination, it was a stroll that symbolized complicity, a walk that looked more like loyalty than regret. But the email sent by Andrew that day confirms what many feared, that even after Epstein's conviction, even after royal advisors urged distance, the Duke of York still saw Epstein not as a liability, but as an ally. What makes this revelation more explosive is how it directly contradicts Prince Andrew's now infamous 2019 interview with BBC Newsnight, a moment many consider one of the most damaging royal media appearances in modern history. In that interview, Andrew insisted he had cut off contact with Epstein after visiting him in New York to break ties. "I stayed with him," Andrew admitted. "That's the bit that, as it were, I kick myself for every day." But he repeatedly emphasized that the visit was to end the friendship, to sever the connection. The 2011 email tells a different story. Rather than a goodbye, it reads like reassurance. "We are in this together," a line that implies solidarity, shared stakes, a continuing relationship, not a severed one. This revelation reopens wounds that the monarchy had hoped were beginning to scar over. After the 2019 interview, Prince Andrew stepped back from public duties. His titles were later removed. He no longer represents the crown at official events. But he was not erased. He was not exiled. And for many observers, the lingering presence of Andrew within royal spaces has been a quiet source of public discontent. But now, with the public release of this email, a question hangs heavier than ever over the monarchy. What did Prince Andrew really know, and when? This revelation reopens wounds that the monarchy had hoped were beginning to scar over. After the 2019 interview, Prince Andrew stepped back from public duties. His titles were later removed. He no longer represents the crown at official events. But he was not erased. He was not exiled. And for many observers, the lingering presence of Andrew within royal spaces has been a quiet source of public discontent. But now, with the surfacing of this email, that discontent may transform into fury. It's not just the content of the message. It's the confirmation of a pattern of denial, of half-truths, of loyalty extended to the wrong people at the worst moments. And once again, the monarchy is left cleaning the stain. The email leak comes at a time when the royal family is attempting to modernize its image, project unity, and transition power into a new generation. Prince William's rising public role, Catherine's careful re-emergence, King Charles's struggle with health, all of it has been part of a tightly choreographed campaign to steady the ship. This revelation knocks the balance, because it reminds the public and the press that the past is not done with them. Legally, this email may not carry weight, but symbolically, it is devastating. We are in this together. Together, in what? To many, it will be seen as complicity, at the very least, moral complicity, with a man now known to have orchestrated decades of abuse. And while Andrew continues to deny all allegations made against him by Virginia Giuffre and others, the persistence of such revelations makes it harder for the institution to maintain its veil of neutrality. So where does this leave the monarchy? In a corner. King Charles has been cautious when dealing with his brother. He has reportedly sought to contain the damage without escalating family conflict. But the calls for further distancing are growing louder. Already, commentators and historians are calling for the full removal of Andrew from all public-facing royal settings, not just duties, but even ceremonial appearances. Some go further. They want his titles revoked permanently, his access to royal properties restricted. They want the monarchy to show, not just say, that it has changed. But will it? This is the question that the public will watch closely in the coming weeks. The monarchy survives not by law, but by consent, by tradition, by image. And when that image cracks, the foundations shake. Prince Andrew has not spoken publicly about the email, nor has Buckingham Palace issued a statement. But the silence is already loud. What would it mean for a working monarchy to allow even passive association with someone who lied about their relationship with a convicted abuser? And what does it say about the power of loyalty, when loyalty becomes blindness? There are those who believe Andrew is being hounded unfairly, that he has paid a price, that he is no longer a public figure and should be left alone. But the monarchy is not a private club. It is a national institution, funded in part by public money, and whose members live lives of privilege precisely because they are expected to uphold higher standards. And when those standards are not met, the public remembers. We are in this together. The line may have been written in private, but it will be read aloud in courtrooms of public opinion for years to come. This story is not over. New documents are still emerging from the Epstein estate. More communications, more logs, more correspondence. And at the heart of it all lies a question the monarchy cannot answer with tradition alone. What happens when a royal chooses the wrong alliances? Prince Andrew may have believed he was protecting a friendship, preserving dignity, shielding himself from fallout. But history is unforgiving. And now his words, 12 of them, will haunt every attempt to rewrite the narrative. The palace can stay silent. The press can speculate. But the people will remember. Because scandal doesn't fade, it calcifies. We will continue to follow this story. We will track every update, every consequence, every silence. Because here at Crownverse, we believe the future of the monarchy isn't just in crowns and ceremonies. It's in accountability. It's in truth. And truth always finds its way through. If you believe the royal institution